Hello, welcome to summer term. It is Basic Anatomy and Physiology. My name is Molly Baxter and I'm your instructor for this term. We're going to go over a few things, but we'll be talking more tomorrow. Every week we will have on Tuesday afternoons at 1 o'clock, we'll have class online. And you can see this purple link here every Tuesday from 1 to 2. That's the time that our class was scheduled anyway, so everyone's available at that time. Let's talk about some of the course materials you need. You need the textbook. If you don't really want the textbook, you can use the e-text. So the e-text link is here, and when you use your access card to get into these MyLab and Mastering online assignments, which is mandatory, if you use that access card, the e-text is in there as well. So you want to make sure you also have the visible body link that you have to purchase at the bookstore, and that is for our lab. We'll be using online labs instead of a lab manual. In the class, you will see an announcements link here already. There are 2 announcements in there. The first announcement tells you the very first thing that you have to do, which is to come down here to this enrollment key quiz. If you've ever taken an online class, you know you have to complete this enrollment key quiz. The due date is June 1st. Just take it right away. Otherwise, you will be dropped from class. The second thing you need to do is enroll in your MyLab and Mastering Pearson online assignments and register there. And you do that at this link, and you'll be using that access card that you purchased at the bookstore with your book or without your book. If you have questions about the class, there is a question and answer form here. I can answer right away, but I will be setting the class up with the Remind app, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that tomorrow in class, because every Tuesday at 1 o'clock we do have class online at that Collaborate link right there. You need to read through this syllabus. Here is the due date schedule, and here is the syllabus addendum that tells you how everything is graded and rules for the class. In this class, you also must download what is called Respondus Lockdown Browser. You need to have a webcam so that you will be recording your exams so that they are being proctored. And here is the technical support if you have some problems with the Respondus Lockdown Browser. So you'll notice when you see a test, it will say requires Respondus Lockdown Browser. Well, if you would like to practice before you take your first test, just practice right in here. You can click on that and see how that Respondus works. Eventually, you'll just get bored with it. You just kind of forget about it entirely. So make sure you take your enrollment key quiz. Here are resources for the class. Here is a Quizlet link that goes to Quizlets that I have done specifically for us. So chapter 1 is Intro to Anatomy, and these are 74 flashcards that will help you with chapter 1. So you might find those very, very useful. If you've never done it before, there's the term, and you click on the card and it tells you the definition. So the axillary region is the armpit. So you'll find that there's a lot of anatomy terms, more so than a first year foreign language, some people say, but try to incorporate these new terms into what you already know. For example, if you're a CNA and you take temperatures, you might take them in the axillary region, so you'll remember that, oops, we'll go back, can't go back, but the axillary region was the armpit. There we go, axillary region, armpit. Brachial region, if you've ever taken blood pressures, you squeeze the brachial artery. And so the brachial, I'm not very good at doing this, the brachial region is the upper arm. So that's Quizlet. That should help you a little bit. You can do those on your phone. There are plenty of videos here. These are all extremely good videos. There are apps to help you. So here are a list of some apps. These are all paid apps. Here's a good anatomy site. So here's the thing. You might say, well, there's so much there, I don't know what to do. You won't know what will help you unless you click on that link and actually look at it. Some of these you'll find incredibly useful. For example, once we get into the online assignments, if you go into My Lab and Mastering, you'll find an area called Study Area. There's a study area for every chapter with videos and drag and drop practice, all kinds of things. So there's lots of ways to study anatomy instead of just sitting down with a textbook. So I have lots of videos. These are kind of generic videos that cover the same material. But then when you get to chapter 1, okay, so chapter 1 is what we do this first week. We do it very, very quickly. We've got about 5 days to start and finish chapter 1. We're covering 2 chapters a week. And you'll find in chapter 1 narrated PowerPoints. These are your key study tools. Your narrated PowerPoints are, I have narrated them. You can listen to these in the car if you're doing a lot of driving. And you can see that there are 3 narrated PowerPoints for chapter 1. They last at most about 15 minutes. But after you've watched the slides 1 through 48, I've put in another page here that says, can you answer these? After watching slides 1 through 48, ask yourself, definition of A and P, difference between gross anatomy and microscopic anatomy. So you should be comfortable answering these before you go on to the next video. So make sure you study smart, not hard. Take things in order, take them in chunks. For each chapter, I've written an outline. Sometimes we skip sections in the book, so you want to stick with that outline. And there's quite a few activities here for chapter 1. These are not activities you just gloss over here. These are things you print out and you do. These are activities. These will help you learn the details of the chapter. If we were together in class, you would do these in class. So here, 9 terms to practice on a loved one. Download it. Open it up, and you will see that there are some terms here you may not know yet. So once you've learned those terms, cut them up and tape them on somebody. So all of these are activities for you to do, for you to spend time doing, so you learn the material. Then you'll see the link to the Quizlet. You'll see things to know for chapter 1. Now, toward the middle of the class or near the end of the class, people always ask for a study guide for the final. Well, here it is. I've already written up an outline for you for the chapter, and I've already written up the main things to learn for that chapter. You need to answer these. So once you've answered those are a great study guide for your final exam, which is cumulative. And then there's a review for the chapter, another review for the chapter 1 test, and you can see it requires Respondus Lockdown Browser. And each test has 30 multiple choice questions. You're not timed. You can spend as much time as you want on it. You'll see that they go pretty fast. You either know it or you don't, and many of them will contain pictures, especially as we get through the term. Here is our lab link. So once you click on that lab link, it will take you to Visible Body. And here is visible body. You need to, if you're new, you have to sign up, and so on. So visible body, let me show you. Shoot. I guess I can't show you that. We'll do that in class tomorrow. I'll get into visible. I'll have it set up so we can get into visible body right away, and look at that. And this lab is where you're going to submit. It's your assignment link for lab 1. But if you click on that lab link, you are going to see the document. Here's our document that you must fill out for lab 1. Lab 1 in visible body goes hand in hand with chapter 1 in the textbook, and they both will help you to learn the material. You don't want to spend 5 minutes on your lab. It is a precious resource that will help you learn the material. So that's briefly chapter 1. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. You do need to register for your online assignments so that if you're having trouble, I can help you when we meet in class. And let me know right away if you have any problems whatsoever getting started with this class, because it's a fast and furious pace. So I look forward to meeting you tomorrow, and have a great day.